In 2012, a team of scientists opened up a brain that belonged to a 94-year-old woman. Inside it, they found cells that didn't match her DNA. She'd had a son 70 years earlier. Somehow, cells from that pregnancy were still living inside her brain 7 decades later. This isn't a one-off case. It's a documented phenomenon called fetal microchimerism, and it happens in millions of mothers. These cells don't just linger. They migrate toward injuries. They cross a barrier your body normally guards like a fortress. By the end of this video, you'll never think about pregnancy the same way again. You probably picture pregnancy like this: a baby sealed inside the womb, the placenta acting like a wall between two separate bodies. That's not what it is. The placenta works more like a checkpoint than a wall. It keeps the mother's blood and the baby's blood separate, while letting oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and antibodies pass through. But every so often, something else slips through too. Living fetal cells. Some of them behave like stem cells, meaning they can transform into different types of tissue later. Researchers have found them shockingly early in pregnancy, and in some mothers, they found them decades after birth. Then, in 2012, scientists found them in the brain, decades after that. A pregnancy that lasted 9 months may have left something behind for almost an entire lifetime. Nobody expected that, and it raised a bigger question: why is it there at all? At first, scientists assumed these cells were just passengers, drifting wherever blood happened to carry them. Then a pattern showed up. Again and again, fetal cells were found gathered around injured tissue: healing wounds, damaged organs, C-section scars. Some animal research has gone further, suggesting fetal cells may migrate toward injured heart tissue and begin turning into heart muscle-like cells. Human studies have found similar clustering around healing tissue in people. Are they helping repair the body? Maybe. One evolutionary theory suggests the baby may be improving the mother's odds of survival. Keep the mother alive, and the mother keeps the baby alive. If that's true, it's one of the strangest trades evolution has ever made. A child quietly investing in its own mother's survival from the inside. Now, back to the brain, because this is where it gets stranger. Your brain is guarded by something called the blood-brain barrier. It's one of the strictest checkpoints in the entire body. Almost nothing gets through it. Not most drugs, not most infections, not most immune cells. Fetal cells did. Researchers found them in brain regions tied to memory, emotion, and other complex functions. What are they doing there? Nobody knows for certain. Some early research suggests they might protect the brain. Other research is looking at whether they could contribute to disease. Right now, both are still open questions, and that uncertainty is part of what makes this so unsettling. Here's the part that changes everything. These cells aren't fully yours. They carry different DNA, and your immune system link those exact same kinds of cells to lower rates of breast cancer and higher rates of colon cancer. Same cells, different disease, opposite direction. Same cells, opposite outcomes. How? Scientists think it depends on where the cells end up and how the mother's immune system reacts to them. Helpful in one place, a threat in another. Your body may be running an experiment on itself and still hasn't finished measuring the results. Here's what almost nobody knows. The exchange isn't one-directional. While fetal cells move into the mother, maternal cells move into the baby too. Those cells have been found years later in a child's blood, bone marrow, liver, and lungs. Which means if you have children, you're likely carrying some of their cells right now, and they're carrying some of yours. Pregnancy doesn't end at birth. It leaves a biological signature that can outlast the relationship, the childhood, even the person. Most people think pregnancy ends the day a baby is born. Biology disagrees. For 9 months, 2 separate lives share one body. And when that connection is supposed to end, it doesn't fully. Somewhere in your blood, your organs, maybe even your brain, there could be cells that were never yours to begin with. Not a memory, not a metaphor, written into the body itself. And after 50 years of studying it, scientists still can't tell you exactly why it's there. If you think baby cells staying inside the mother is the strangest thing pregnancy does, it's not. During pregnancy, the brain rewires itself. The immune system changes its own rules. The heart works harder. Organs shift to make room for another human. Next video, we're decoding the bizarre science of pregnancy